Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How was your holiday? We are now in Sunday. I don't know about you guys, but I have to go back to work tomorrow. I decided to do this video today because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do one for tomorrow because the first day back is going to be so hectic that I might not have time. So I'm here today. So, how was everyone's holiday? Did you guys spend time with family? Did you go out? Did you eat turkey? And just let me know in the comment section what you guys did. And hopefully, you all had a great holiday. I know that I rested and had time to myself, which was important because I feel like all I do is work. So, it was good to be off and take the time to have to myself. And the good news is on Thanksgiving Day, if you go back to Friday's video, you'll hear the whole story. I reconciled with my best friend from the time I was 14. And it was really nice. Her son did a really cool thing because for the last few years, I guess, I don't know, yeah, the last few years, he's been trying to get us together. And it's not because of any toxic thing that she or myself did. Uh, it was because of organized religion or the religion, or let me say it this way: the religious organization that we both were connected to growing up. And I was shunned at the age of 23, and we disconnected because of that. And it was good to really talk to her. And I spent the weekend just catching up with her and talking and finding out what's going on with her and all that good stuff. And so her son really did a good thing because it's nice to have someone back in my life, and it's not anything toxic or anything like that. So it's a good thing. So I'm happy about that. Um, and so go back to Friday's video for those who didn't listen to it, because you're going to learn a lot of things. And also, I want to say is that I've been talking to this friend. I'm not going to mention his name. And he has been telling me how much these videos is helping him, his family, and people he's been sharing it with. And he told me to keep going. And we also talk about some things, um, about things, sharing. And I that's when I decided on Friday that it was time to share some truths without giving specific information like names, locations, and names of um, you know, situations. Just speaking about my personal experiences and what happened to me and how it affected me, without giving all that other information, because it's not about that. It's about, just what happened and how I am able, with the help of God, to heal from it. So that's why I shared that on Friday. Um, it's so important as I stay on this journey to heal and to grow, is to speak truths, and to speak out my truths and what happened to me and how it affected me and how now I'm growing from it. Because as you speak those things out, it no longer has a hold on you. And I'm learning that. So, when I had this conversation with him, we were talking about some things, to share. And that's what I'm doing. And I agree with that, but I won't give specific information. So let's get into this title today. Before I get into that, I want to say everyone who subscribed to the channel and who's been here before know that I always say this. And I say it and address it every time because I don't know how many newcomers are here. But for the newcomers, I'm not a social worker. I'm not a therapist of any sort, and I don't have a degree in that area. I'm just here to talk about my personal experiences of loss and grief and pain, and especially during the shutdown, how my life has been affected by the loss of my mother and 10 people, and how I had to do the work to heal so that I can get better. And I talk about some things that effectively help my life. And I'm sharing it here with those who might be going through something similar so that some of the things that I talk about here might help them grow as well if they apply it to their own situations. So, and this is also a no judgment zone here. We're here to help others and to talk to them and to grow, to heal and to grow. So, the topic of discussion today is while you continue to heal. Here's some things that I'm going to talk about while you continue to heal. When you really get to the point that you're tired of toxicity, you're tired of grieving and the pain, and you really want to do the work to heal yourself, and you get on that journey to heal yourself, and the journey may be slow at first because you don't know what to expect. You take one step, like putting your foot in the water to see how cold or hot it is, or whatever the case. You don't know what to expect. And that's how it is when you're on this journey to healing. But at least you take the initiative to take that first step. And as you start the process and you are determined to stay on that path, some people are not going to like it. Know this. Some people will be cheering you on and saying, yes, yes, I'm so proud of you. Keep going, keep going. While other people will become your haters, for sure. I have to remind myself that everyone will not be happy for me as I evolve, as I elevate, and as I grow, and as I heal. Not everyone is going to be happy, and I'm starting to see that as I continue to stay on this path. However, the difference is that I am not going to allow myself to be distracted by that. I am still staying focused and moving forward. And that's the key factor here, to keep uh, moving and to stay focused. Um, I'm going to share something here. And this is, if you go back to Friday's video, you'll hear, you know, some things that happened to me. Um, but what really turned my life around was when we were in a shutdown in a pandemic, because I reached so low. You know that movie Less Than Zero? You can't get any lower than that. And that's what was going on in my life during that time. And that's when I really asked God to help me, genuinely, sincerely, to help me out of that situation. And He has done so as I continue to move forward. And none of it was easy because my mother was in a nursing home, and we were just in the middle of the shutdown. He just probably 2 months into it when the doctor said that she wasn't going to be here any longer. And I thank God every day that I had a chance to have a conversation with her. And she was in and out of consciousness as she talked to me, because she was on her way out. And I spoke to her. But one of the other things that I did, because I was so distraught about how this was playing out, and, besides praying to God and asking Him to help, and my heart was heavy and etc., I called one of my aunts, to let her know that, my mother was passing away. And I was so distraught. You know how your heart is heavy and you're just reaching out to people in your family and etc. And I called her to tell her that my mother was passing away and what the doctor was saying. And she started yelling and screaming at me, and she cursed me out. So much so that I just hung up on her. And I was enraged by her actions, her words. And I just was in shock as well. because it made me realize how much she despised me. Um, and this is a aunt who's holding a grudge, people, over a pair of shoes that she bought me when I was 17 years old. I didn't ask her to buy it, she bought them. And I have tried to reach out to her several times throughout the years to offer to pay it back because I see the grudge or whatever the case is. But I wasn't able to reach her in that manner. But because before I can even get into that conversation, um, she would start an argument with me, start cursing me out about it, and blah, blah. So I never had a chance to say, hey, well, how much did it cost? What do I owe you so I can pay it back? I never even got to that point because whenever she would hear my voice on the phone, she would start cursing and saying horrific things to me. And I didn't call her that much throughout the years anyway. But when my mom was dying, I thought we can resolve whatever. And after, which I'm not going to even repeat the words that she said, um, I said that was it for me. She will never, ever hear from me again. And I would never, ever respond to any messages or anything that has to do with her because the hate is real. And that's all I'm going to say about that, you know. Um, and what I'm learning on this journey from all these toxic situations and things is that God has creative ways uh, of disconnecting people from, my life, like removing toxic family members and exes and people from the past from my life because he see, you know, what's happening here. And if someone can have so much animosity because of something like this, and I'm now in my 50s and they are, it can't even be a conversation, disconnect, shut down, cut off, block, and delete. And it took a lot for me to, even though I know that people are in this toxicity, to do this because it's family. But if you go back to the video on Friday, you would learn that I've been shunned from most of the family. Um, and since I was 23 years old, my mom and I reconnected when I was pregnant with my son, and she was in my life, you know, because in order to uh, see her grandson, I guess she just wanted to resolve whatever. Because you see, the organization, the religion that she was part of, I was excommunicated from, and people were shunning me. But in order to have her grandson in her life, she had to have me. So she just, did that. So, but everybody else, shunning, and not only the shunning. I have some notes here because I want to cover everything that I wanted to say here today. Um, Not only were people shunning, family and old so-called friends, they got on the hate wagon, the bandwagon of hate and you know, drama and lies and saying things about me that I would never do. And some of the stuff I heard, at first I used to cry and get mad and get upset, but I just laugh at it because people who know me know I would never do certain things. And the things that I was hearing, I'm like, me? What? And I just laugh it off. And then what I start to learn to do is how to turn those situations around, flip it. And how I learned how to do that, which I'm going to share with you, when you have people hating on you and doing things because you decide that you're going to grow and heal from grief and pain and you don't want toxicity in your life, you speak those things out without speaking out the person's name and etc. And then after you speak it out and you're genuine about this healing and journey of healing, so that you can be better, Give that to God. Lift it up and say, God, I give this to you because this is too much for me. I'm going to give this situation to you. Because you can't control what other people do, but you can control you, you know, and you can redirect that focus and put it on you instead on everybody else, like I used to do, being subservient, hoping people like me. And oh, if I look like this, if I do this or that, no, I have to be my authentic self. That's how God wanted authenticity, not being fake, not fake love, not fake kisses, not fake any of it, you know, just being myself and healing, and people don't like that because when you're not giving them attention, these specific type of individuals that I'm speaking about, they don't like because you're not giving them any attention. You're taking that attention and you putting it into you. You're investing into yourself so that you can heal and grow from this grief and pain instead of being stagnated in it, and you are, once you start to do that, because it's a process, it's not easy and it takes time. You're healing, you're taking care of yourself, because like I always say, if you don't take care of your physical and mental health, you can't take care of anyone else or yourself. No matter what it is, you just can't. And your physical and mental health is everything. It doesn't matter who feels whatever kind of way they feel. That's an OPP, other people's problems. And the healing process is to take care of your problems, take care of you, so that you don't stay stuck, and learning how to transmute that pain into, turning that pain into power into a purpose. And then you can be a testimony. Once you start to heal and self love, you're going to automatically start to take care of yourself. And then you will become a testimony to somebody else who needs to heal, to somebody else who needs to hear this message, who's sitting somewhere in grief and pain and depression. And some people may not know how bad it is with them, and they need to be encouraged and uplifted. And if somebody else who's toxic in that toxicity feels some kind of way, that's on them. That's their issue. It has nothing to do with you. And what I do personally, and I'm sharing what I do, I leave people where they are. They don't want to grow, they don't want to heal. That's their option. We all have choices. We don't have to stay stuck and stagnated. We can take that first step and continue, at our own pace, as long as we take that step and not allow anyone else to keep us stuck because they don't like it, And I had to learn, I have to take care of me. I'm important, you know. And one of the things, it took a long time, therapy. That's why I always talk about connecting with the therapist. Find one that you vibe with. It's because if you vibe with that therapist, you're gonna slowly open up to him or her and talk. And as you do that, you start to heal little by little. Because some therapists may give like little homework as they start to hear your story and see what's going on with you, like my therapist did, the pros and cons of a situation. He has never told me to block, cut off, or delete anyone. What he would tell me to do is make a pro and a con list of the situation, the connection I have with these individuals, and see what outweighs what. Does the pros outweigh the cons, or vice versa? Or how do you say it? Vice versa, And I started to do that, and I started to see what was happening, whereas before I was blinded by the grief and pain, and people was just doing any and everything behind the scenes, and I started to see the betrayals, the hate. When someone can really just shun you like a plague because of something, that they find challenging, is what I'm going to use it like that, and this is being shunned, and then being in a place of grief because you lost someone who was so close to you and meant everything to you. That to me is like you're already down to I was already down to the ground, and someone coming to kick me to make sure I fall all the way down, to step on me while I'm feeling less than zero. And then to go and spread lies and viciousness and that's a person who's toxic and wicked. And when I started to do the pros and the cons, and when I started to see the betrayals, to have confirmation of them, and I'm not going to talk about how I got the confirmations, but then I started to leave people where they were, cut off, block, and delete. And when I started to see the details of what these betrayals was, then something rose up inside of me. I don't deserve this. What? I've never did anything to these people but show them love, generosity, help in a way that I would want to be treated. And since I'm not getting that, I'm leaving people where they are. And people with toxicity don't like that, because they want to be the center of attention. And it's important that we take care of ourselves because, when you're going through pain and grief and depression, you need to be lifted up. And if people are not lifting me up and they're not there and they creating more pain, cut off, block, and delete, and I had to do this. And it doesn't matter whether it was family members, because I was already cut off from them and shunned. And when my mom passed away, we have a huge family. One person out of the family, this huge family we have, called me to give her condolences. Nobody else did. But yet, when somebody else in a family shortly thereafter passed away, they calling me asking me to attend the service. Are you kidding me? This person hasn't talked to me in 30 years and you're calling me and reaching out for me to attend their funeral service? Are you kidding me? They really think I'm dumber than a rock. And I kept telling them over and over, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not. And that's the first time that a light bulb went on, like, I don't know how to explain it to you when I said the audacity to think that they have a right to call me and ask me and talk about family. We haven't been family since I was in my 20s, and I'm 50, my 50s now. Are you kidding me? Please. So this is, I have to laugh at it because it doesn't make any sense, and one of the things that I have to say to you guys, when you start to heal and you start to self-love on yourself and take care of your physical and mental health, sometimes people, not only do they not like it, some people will cheer you on and encourage you to keep going, and others will be haters. And the haters in particular, those who get on a bandwagon of talking about people, gossiping, lies, and saying all types of things about people. If you get on if a person get on the bandwagon of doing that and they don't know anything about this person, they just believe in it because it came from a different source or whatever, and you don't do your homework to see if what is the viciousness that's being said is true or not, then you're part of the problem and not the solution. And like I said, when I'm a child of God, now I don't care what people think about who I am or whatever, and when I am healing myself and taking care of myself and trying to help other people, through messages and other means, and somebody wants to spread lies and viciousness, what do you think God is going to do? Especially when I have made vows to him about not just being on this path, but about helping other people in a way that he helps me. I can't do it the way, of course, not the way God does it, but giving back is what I'm saying. And then I'm here to help other people and lift them up. And somebody wants to go and spread viciousness and lies because they don't like it and because they feel some kind of way. What do you think God is going to do? You think he's going to sit there and let it happen? So people need to be careful what they're doing, what they're saying, and it just, that's all I'm going to say about that. They need to be careful who they saying it about and what they're doing. I'm very focused on healing, growth, and expansion, and helping others to do the same thing because it's not easy. We live in a world today where so much stuff is of fakeness, fake hugs, fake kisses, and it's just people just so self absorbed, and it's like, if someone is hurting and it's like, well, that's their problem kind of attitude. And no one is, and some people don't care about how that person is feeling or what they're going through. And this is why I am very careful as to who I allow in my space, my energy, and my time, who I give that to. Because not everybody, you know, is on this bandwagon of, this purpose of uplifting and helping other people. People are not on that. Some people are not, you know. And so I don't give my time or energy to anything like that. And so, it's important to keep healing, and it's important to do the work. And the work can be, learning how to spend some time just music. Music uplift me. Before I got on here, I did some prayers and music, because the music helps me a lot. Sunday evening is a hard time for me because it's a time where I would take the time, I would have a busy week, and then Sundays I would spend time talking to my mom. And in particular, with problems and situations, especially with my son, and my mother would give me advice and tell me. As she got older, she mellowed out a lot because she didn't do these things with us growing up. But um, she really gave me some advice just in general about certain things I was going through. And I really miss that. I really miss her stories and talking to her. And it's never the same when you lose a parent, and it isn't. And it just takes time to get through everything. And so that's when my life changed during the shutdown, really, because I was going through some stuff before. You hear about it on Friday's video. But this really said, Lisa, you got to get it together as far as, just healing and being on a different path, and to um, not just allow anybody in my life. And even when a friend of mine, was talking to me about dating, and I said um, that I take my time now with everything I do. And what I've been realizing is that some people who I, you know, come in contact with, they want to rush into something. I'm not doing that. I'm not. And then there was one person in particular, I guess we were trying to get to know each other or whatever. And they wanted to step on the accelerator. I'm not doing that. I have to take my time. And they thought they were going to move it right along. And I just shut it down, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut it down because no one's going to rush me into something that I'm not sure about yet, because I have to see if this person is toxic or not. I have to see if this person is being honest with me. It takes time. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I used to just rush into stuff in the past. Oh, wow, this person, yeah, they're treating me the way I want to be treated. But people are put on the front. It's like when you go to a job interview, they stretch things and make it sound much better, or whatever the case is. And then you don't find out about this huge whatever it is until you get involved. So I take my time. Well, we can take our time, build up a friendship, get to know that person, for me anyway, and just spend time laughing and doing things. And to me, does this person believe in God? Do they love God? Do they pray? I need to know all those things, because if they don't, I'm not, you know, water and oil don't mix. I'm not doing it. And I'm not judging them, but that's not going to be for me. So I take my time. Anything I do. I just take my time with it. I'm not going to jump and sign things that I don't understand. I'm going to read through them, etc. And people don't understand that, especially people from the past who try to come back. I'm not the same Lisa that they knew when we were once together. And it would never work because I'm not that person, because I am different. And as I continue to heal, I continue to grow and continue to share and speak out my truth. And people don't like that, I'm finding out. But I have to be true to myself, you know, and it is what it is, in that way. People may not like that term either, but, and I'm saying that because I have to be my authentic self. It can't be any other way. I can't walk around being fake and then I'm on this channel telling people A, B, C, and D. I am truly being my authentic self. And it's not easy because, some people from the past will try to come back, send messages, and blah, blah. And I say to them, water and oil don't mix because I'm not the same person. I'm not going to let you do to me what you did in the past. And if you haven't healed, then you're still on that toxicity. And as soon as I see it, I'm out the door. I'm not going to make excuses as I did before. Well, it'll change if I do this and that. I'm not uh, twisting myself in and out like a pretzel to please somebody else. It's going to be an equal give and take, or it's going to be nothing at all. And people, and I spend time alone, and I don't have any problem spending time alone. When you start to love on yourself, sometimes you need to spend time alone so that you can just regroup from the whole week and from things that's going on. It's important. And I've learned that I had some people in the past who I was connected with. They couldn't spend time alone. They had to have somebody around them every second of the day, and I can't do that anymore. That doesn't work with me. I need time alone to be in prayer with God, time alone to meditate, listen to music, and to have that time. We all need that time, and it's important. So, everything I do it differently now. So when I get these messages from exes and stuff, I just look at it and delete it because we don't have anything in common anymore. And I'm not that same person who's going to put up with what I put up with before. And I have no interest in it. I'm a different individual. I'm still Lisa Vaughn, but I'm different from how I used to be. So anything that I do now, I'm embracing the new, and I take my time because think of it, people. If you, for those who are single out there and you meet someone, if you just let things happen naturally and spend time having fun, doing fun things, it'll naturally grow into, if you both already have the attraction there, it'll naturally grow into what it should be instead of forcing it and just let things happen, and take your time. Well, that's how I see it. So that's the message here is just while you continue to heal, just stay focused on that. Don't let anyone throw you off that path because they don't like it, because you are spending time now taking care of yourself. We're supposed to do that. And we're supposed to love ourselves. And one of the ways that I transmute the pain is if it feels too much and I'm going through a lot, I write down how I feel. I pray to God and I say, God, this is too much. And I give it to him and he takes care of it. I've seen situation after situation that he's taken care of, time and time again, as long as I'm being genuine and I don't have any toxic or negative ulterior motives. So stay true to yourself. A English teacher wrote that when I graduated from high school in my yearbook, about being true to myself. Back then, I didn't understand it. I understand it so much today. So whatever you do, guys, be true to yourself, and just those who are grieving, allow yourself time to grieve, but don't stay there. Just take little steps, one day at a time. You know, so that's the message here today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I will try. If not, I will definitely be back on Tuesday. And please share these videos with other people. Before I go, I just want to say that because not everybody will share the fact that they're grieving and how hard they're grieving because of the loss of a loved one. They're not going to share because they may not know how to verbalize that, or they just don't share. But if you share this video with them, they can be uplifted by the message here. Because I'm always going to talk about taking that pain and transmuting that pain into power, power into a purpose, and purpose into paying it forward to help other people. Because as we do that, we help ourselves, and we can be a testimony to others as we grow and heal and evolve. And then that person can learn and pay it forward and so forth, so that we are not just broken individuals walking around in a space of toxicity. So please share this video with others and let them, watch these videos and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be here with new messages, as much as I can. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Everyone have a great Sunday. Bye for now.